The Public Service Commission, of course, works very closely with ministries and departments, including the Ministry of Lands and Mineral Resources, given it provides a very strategic as well as important role to pursue improvements in public service delivery, as well as to work hand in hand to implement a range of changes which will assess the ordinary members of the public in accessing those services and in the process being served better. This is one of our key deliverables as permanent secretaries to ensure that service delivery as well as the needs of the people we serve are put at the forefront at all times. In the Public Service Commission, one of our key roles, of course, is to create an environment and provide the necessary tools and office space to staff, to help staff in performing their functions as public servants, and also to provide facilities which would delight the public when they come to access those services, because the public for too long has received deals or raw deals in terms of comfort and the environment they get served in. So one of the priorities of this government has been to ensure that the government properties as well as properties we rent are in a very good condition, and they are of standards and quality to be able to provide that comfort both to staff as well as to customers. This is, of course, not an easy task, given that we have government offices located throughout Fiji, in very remote locations and in the interior areas, as well as in islands, ranging from Ratuma, Kandavu, Lomaiviti group of islands, as well as the Lau group of islands. However, a person living in those islands and the government offices in there need to, and those people deserve to be given the same treatment, if not better, in terms of service delivery compared to the comfort of the cities and townships. So that is one of our priorities. In cases where there is no government-owned premises, but the presence of government is necessary, we go out and rent office premises and make it available to staff or to public servants to deliver certain services. Government is currently renting in excess of 70 such premises throughout the divisions to accommodate various offices of government. In addition to this, as I mentioned earlier, government has its own buildings where civil servants are accommodated and from where members of public are served. Just to quote some figures, last year, government paid slightly over $26 million for rental of premises from private landlords. In terms of office fittings, this year, government has allocated $1 million to help with office fittings, meaning anything to do to make the office environment more comfortable for public as well as members of staff. So far, we have spent just over $500,000 of this, and of course, by the rest of the year, we should be able to utilize 100% of that. I have quoted these figures to illustrate basically the extensive reach out of government, and also to reaffirm that government is committed to ensuring that ordinary members of the public are better served, and the public servants who serve them are also well looked after. The money we spend is treated as investment because these are for the good of the people. It is meant to better prepare the government to deliver its services, and it is also meant to be meant to allow us to secure facilities of standard and quality which we ourselves don't have. They are meant to meet the safety standards. They are meant to meet the occupational health and safety standards, as well as the comfort requirements of civil servants and public alike. I thought of emphasizing this point because sometimes it gets scouted out of context in the sense that there's so much expenditure on offices. But these are necessary expenditure. It is meant to complement the emphasis of government in taking the services to the people. Such investment, apart from making office space available, is also in line with government's policy of working with the private sector to allow it to be the engine of growth. We are helping by renting offices which we don't have to spare off economic activity and to create jobs and income for the people. But here at the Ministry of Lands, I'm very proud to say this is our own building and one of the oldest buildings government has here in the West. And I note the Public Works Department. I would like to thank them for doing some initial works. And we ourselves have spent $47,000, just over $47,000 in hiring a contractor to refurbish the office, and an additional $24,000 for installation of air conditioning as well as other refurbishment works. These premises, as I mentioned earlier, are government-owned, and we are pleased that it has been tidied up for the benefit of the people who get served from here, as well as the staff who work therein. Wherever there are government-owned premises which can be used as office space, we place priority in getting them repaired or renovated. Government-owned offices, of course, are in very strategic locations, and the members of the public identify themselves better with government premises. They are, in addition to serving as government offices in times of disaster, they act as contact centers as well as evacuation centers. So these premises, as owned by government and the people of Fiji, we are economizing and using to the maximum benefit by keeping it in shape, as well as ensuring that its asset value is maintained. Your new look office here in the West will provide, particularly the Department of Lands, which is now on the roll to implementing various reforms to better serve the public here in the West as well as whole of Fiji, a more conducive work environment for staff to carry out their services. It will also improve the profile and visibility of the ministry. The ministry, of course, provides, as I mentioned earlier, a frontline service where people do come here to access various types of land titles, including payment of ground rent for Crown land and other services which the Department of Lands offers. This indeed is an encouraging sign of progress. It places at the forefront our mission of going that extra mile in everything we do for the public service. Also, this refurbished office will go a long way towards attainment of the ministry's corporate goal of changing the landscape to establish conducive working environment that promotes good teamwork to achieve higher levels of efficiency and productivity. Permanent Secretary, invited guests and fellow civil servants, allow me at this juncture also to note and remind you that being accommodated in an office also comes with responsibilities. In particular, you as users and occupants have a very important responsibility because You need to ensure that your work area is clean, it's presentable, it is tidy, and it is befitting the services you provide. If we look after our offices well, it will also complement the values of the public service. The values of the public service, amongst others, is to be responsible and to be caring and to be customer-driven and to be professional. Ladies and gentlemen, with these words, it's now my pleasure to officially open the refurbished Divisional Lands Office, Western. Thank you, Vinaka Vakulevu, and Dhanyavad.